Okay everyone, so now we are creating a Windows application and here we will design a calculator. A simple calculator which can perform all the tasks like multiplication, division, subtraction, addition. So first of all we are going to design the layout. We know that this is the project and here we have given the name calculator. Now we should know there is a text box. Text box is basically used where we are going to provide the certain input. In this text box we are going to take the inputs. We know that in a calculator the inputs are not given from the normal numeric. It is taken with the help of the buttons. Everywhere we are having the button. Let's say first of all I am having a button and I am changing the text of the button, let's say 1. So when I click on this button there should be 1 written over there. So I am dragging and dropping other buttons. Let's say this is another button giving the text as 2. So I am aligning it. Then another button, let's say one more, giving the text 3. Then another button. So here I am giving text 4. Now next button. So this is the text I am changing 5. Now another button I am using, let's say the text I am giving is 6. Now afterward 7. So we know that there are different values are there into the calculator from 1 to 9 and 0. So here is the 7. Then afterward 8. So we are applying here 8. The next button we are dragging and dropping, this is 9. Then afterward we are having 0. I am putting the 0 in between. You can design a calculator of your choice. Okay, so I am putting the 0 in between. Now we have few operations like addition, subtraction. So I am dragging and dropping the button. Now this button, let's say I am giving the plus. So plus indicates the addition. So here this is the plus for the addition. Now afterward I am putting another button. Let's say this is the subtraction, putting the minus. Afterward another button I am taking. Let's say this button is for the multiplication. So star I am putting. And let's say another button I am taking, that is for division. I am putting the slash here. Now afterward I am taking another button. Let's say this button I am using for C. C means clear. If I want to clear the screen, let's say the text box I want to clear. So you can see that there is no more space, so I am just extending it. Afterward I am dragging and dropping another button. This is the important button. We know that equal to. So this is the calculation. We can see that it is not looking good, so I am extending it. So I am extending to the last. Now this is giving a feel of the calculator. On the top text box again is not looking as good, so I am putting it here and just extending its size. So you can see that here we are having the calculator field. Now let's say this form name I am giving as the calculator. So this is the name I am giving to the form. So calculator is the name. Now if I run this, I am just reducing the size. So if I run this, we will be having a feel of the calculator. So the project is running now and here we are having the output. You can see that this is how. Now I want that whenever I click over there on some of the button, now in the text it should be written. So we know that how to do the button coding. This is the text box 1. So inside the text box 1, if I press this one button, 1 should be written. So I am double clicking on this button. Now here is the button 1 coding. So text box 1 on the clicking of 1. Now here I will say text box 1 dot text will be equal to, we know that it is 1. So I am writing here 1. So now the meaning is that in text box 1 we are writing the text which is 1. Now we are going back and checking. Let's say if I run this program, so we will be having the output. If I press 1, successfully 1 is coming. If I press again 1, every time pressing the 1 you can see that, but only the 1 is present. What is the reason? The reason is that when I click on this 1, the previous text box value is replaced. So if I go on the coding and check here, you can see that whenever I click on 1, this one is replaced. So with the earlier one is replaced, that means this is wrong. Why? If I press one more time 1 in the calculator, it show me 11, 1, 1, 1, 4 times 1, 5 times 1. So every pressing on 1, there should be one more 1. So this is not doing. Let's say we are trying some other thing. Afterward we will do the exact coding. Let's say if I do the same coding on 2. Now I'm double click over here. We know that whenever I click on this 2, the text box 1 should be having the 2 value. So here I am writing text box 1 dot text, that is equal to 2. Now we are checking. If I run this program, we will see that the output will come. Now here, if I press 1, it is 1. If I press 2, it is becoming 2. But as per the logic, it should be 12. And if I press again 1, it is 1. It should be 1 to 1. So that means it is not storing the previous value. So that is wrong. In the calculator, it should be having the previous value. So how to take the previous value? Now understand. Whenever I press 1, the previous value of text box should be taken and concat with the new value. Let's say if I am pressing 2 here, so previous value 1 should be taken with the new 2. So what that mean? So I am going, let's say on the first button coding. So this was the first button coding, this one. So text box 1 dot text means in the text box 1, what the text we are writing, previous value. So previous value, we know that the text box 1 dot text means the previous value of text box. We are concatenating, and the concatenation sign is and with 1. Now understand this code. If I run this, now understand. So if I am pressing 1, now the previous value was nothing. So nothing concat with 1 is going to text box. If I press one more time again, so previous value was 1. So text box 1 dot text was 1. Concat with 1 and going to the text box 1. Now if I press 2, everything is 2. Why? Because the same code I have not applied here. So this way I will be changing the 2 also. So means text box 1 dot text means previous value concatenating with the new value. So and is the sign of concatenation. Now if I apply this, you can simply check. These two buttons will work. So right now there is nothing. So text box 1 nothing. Concat with 1. So 1 is coming here. I am pressing 2. So previous value is 1 concat with 2 becoming 12. So 1 to 1, 1 to 1 to. This way these two buttons are properly working. I can even apply 2 multiple times. So that means this is now having the feel of the calculator. These buttons are not working because I have not done the coding. So the same coding I will perform for these buttons as well. So we are going on the coding part. 1 and 2 coding is performed. 3. That means if I press 3, so in the text box 1 dot text will be equal to previous value whatever it is. So text box 1 dot text concat with the 3. So this is where the 3 coding is done. Now for the button 4, the text box 1 dot text equal to text box 1 dot text, this is the previous value concat with the new value which is 4. We can do one thing, we can copy this. Now afterward we can go to the coding of 5. So here on the 5 we can paste the coding and write 5. Now go to the coding of 6. paste it. Now replace with the 6. Now to the 7, do the same thing. So here 7, then afterward 8, perform the same task, copy paste, write 8 on the 9, again copy paste, then 9, and there is the last thing which is 0. So here is 0. You can see that all button coding we have performed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. Previous value with the new value going to the text box 1. So if I run this, you can simply see it is having the field of the calculator. Let's say 1, 2, 8, 6, 1, 7, 3. So this is how we can enter any number into the calculator. Now is the task of the operators, means how this plus minus multiply and divide operator work. So we are going on the form and we are going to apply the coding. So first of all we are going to perform the coding of plus. Now I want that, let's say there is some kind of text is written. I am running this program for the better understanding. Let's say I am writing 3 to 1 here. If I click on plus, after clicking that, this text box should be empty because I should enter new value, and this plus sign should be saved because when I click this equal to, at that time the value which is present and which is after the plus should be added and result should be displayed here. So the tasks the performed here means emptying the text box, saving this value somewhere, and then save this plus sign. So we are going on the coding of plus. Now understand one thing. We are having multiple operators here, plus, minus, star and divide. And if I, let's say, going on minus, so every operator is having their own coding, means their own function is created. Let's say if I am declaring a variable here inside the function, let's say we are declaring a variable dim first value. Now dim first as integer. Let's say this is the value I am taking. This is the variable. So this first variable if I am taking here. Now whenever I will be going on this minus, this value will lost. Why? Because this is the only part of button 11, means it is only part of the plus button. So this first value will lost here. That means if I am declaring any of the variable inside this function, this button underscore click is a function, sub indicate the function, void type. So this value will lost, and that we don't want because calculator is an ongoing process. Just like if I am going on the calculator, then afterward I am writing something, let's say 555, I will press plus, write something, then press minus. So every value should be saved, means all the functions should access the value. Now that means this variable first I cannot declare here. I will just cut this. I will declare globally. Globally means above all the functions, these are actually the functions, button 3, button 2, button 1. Above that, I am declaring it. So that means this first is accessed by all the functions now. Now all the functions can access this value, so they can even change it. So this is the global variable we have declared. Similarly, if I am pressing the plus, now that plus should also be saved globally. That's why I am declaring one more dim operation. Let's say operation is what? Plus, minus, divide. So this is the operation as, and we know that plus, minus, divide, multiply is a string type. So I am writing string. So these are the two variables I have declared globally. Globally means above all the functions, so that all the function knows their values. So first an operation I have declared global, and how to find the global? They are not inside any of the function. So I am going back on the coding of plus. So in the plus I have not declared anything. On the globally I have declared. So here what I am doing, first the variable which is declared globally, first value will be equal to, So I am taking the value from this text box 1. So I am taking first is equal to text box 1 dot text. So this value we have taken into the first, and we can just convert it to value because we know that this text should be converted to the value and saved to the first. So text box 1 text converted to value and saved to the first. Now is the time whenever we write something. So I am taking the output. Now let's say if I write 111, I press the plus button. Now this value is gone to the first, means 111 is saved to first. Now this text box should be empty so that I can take another value. So here the next task I am going to perform is we are going to empty this text box. So text box 1 dot text will be equal to nothing. Nothing means empty. So whenever I click, the value will be stored. Let's say if I run this. Now if I am writing 333, I press this plus. Now this 333 is going to first and text box is now empty so that I can write another 333 and click on the plus. So I want to take the feel of the calculator. I also want to save the plus. That's why in the operator I am taking, this is operator is equal to, now here I am using, let's say, plus. So this is the operation. So operation is equal to, I'm writing here plus. We know that this plus is going to operation and this operation is the global variable. So globally what we are doing, we are just storing the first value, we are emptying the text box and we are saving the operation. So this is the coding of plus. Similar way, I want to do the coding of minus. Now again, if I run this project, we should understand that there are the steps. If I am writing first value, I click on the minus. Now afterward, this value should be stored somewhere. Text box should be empty and this minus should be taken into consideration. So here in the minus we are doing the coding. So double click on the minus. Same coding means in the first global variable we are storing the value which is available into the text box 1 dot text, and afterward we are capturing the value, we are going to free it up. So we should understand that if I write something here, let's say 444, if I click on minus, this value should be going on the first. Then afterward the text box should be empty. So text box 1 dot text will be equal to empty. So text box 1 is empty and operation means which button we have clicked. So operation is equal to, here we are using the minus. So here is the minus we are using. Now afterward what we are doing, let's say the same coding I want to perform on the star, but first of all I should check. Let's say this is the output and here if I write something, now I press minus. When I press minus, this value should be going into the first. So here I press minus, this 444 is going to the first, text box is empty and operation is saved as minus. So this way this coding, you can see that this coding and this coding are same, only the operation is different. So I am copy pasting this coding. Now I am going on the multiplication. Same way in the multiplication, value will be going to the first, text box will be empty and operation will be saved as multiply. Now same way for the divide, the same coding, the text box 1 value will be going to the first, the text box will be empty and operation will be the division. So that means we have already performed the coding of various buttons. So from 1 to 9 and 0, plus, minus, star and divide, these codings we have already performed. Now we are going on the coding of equal. Now equal to is the final coding. Means when I click on the equal to, then afterward answer should come. So let's first of all take the feel of the calculator. We are going to see what the equal to going to perform. So let's say I am entering some number 563. Now I click on the plus button. So afterward, first value is stored. Now I am entering another value, let's say 444. Afterward, I will click equal to. That means this second value should be stored somewhere, and this equal to sign is going to perform the operation. So we are going back to the coding part. I am double clicking on this plus. So this is the button where the coding will be performed. So now here on the equal to, our first task is to store the second number. So I am declaring dim second as integer. Now there is one thing. This second variable can be declared inside the equal to, or it can be declared globally. So there is no difference, because we should understand very first number is accessed by all the buttons. Then afterward, whenever we are taking the second number and clicking equal to, after that there is no access. So we can provide it here if we want inside the equal to, or we can provide globally. Both ways are correct. Answer will not be changed. So inside the equal to, we are giving the second variable where the second value will be stored. Now we are taking the result also. So we are taking dim result as double. So here the result is also taken. Now we have taken the first number, then afterward we have taken the second number and the result. Now for the better understanding, you even can take all the values as double if you want. So if we are going on the top, we are declaring this first as double, so that there will be no confusion. So we are declaring the first value in the double because it can be taken. Now afterward we are going back and taking the second as double. So this value we are taking, and this we are concatenating result over there. So comma result. So you can see that now it is more simple. So first value is global, second and the result will be taken into the equal to button. Now what we want, when we just run this project, and afterward if I click on this equal to button, then the second value will be taken. Let's say this was the first value, I press minus, I press the second value, this second value should be stored on equal to. So in the equal to, my first task is to store the second value. So second will be equal to value from text box 1 dot text. So from text box 1 dot text, I am taking the value and storing to the second number. So we have the first number which is global, we are having the second number, and we are having the operation. So what we are going to do, if we have both the numbers, this is the second number, and we know that if we go on the top, this is the first number and the operation. So based upon the operation, we can do the calculation on the first and second number. So it is very simple. So we are going to perform if else, or we can even provide the switch. So we can say that select case, and on which we are going to apply the case. We know that it is the operation, because operation can be divide, operation can be star, minus or plus. So we simply write case operation. Now enter. So select case on operation. Now what can be the cases? The case can be plus, means if the user is entering the plus, or the case can be minus, user may enter minus. Case can be, let's say, your multiply, or the case can be, let's say, divide. So these are the cases which can be taken. Now if user press plus, so operation is plus, in that case what is going to happen, the first number and the second number should be added. So we are simply writing here result is equal to first, this first number is global, plus second. So simple way we can do this. Result is equal to first number plus second number. In the minus we can say that result is equal to first minus second. So that what we can do, or we can just copy it and paste it into all options. So here on the star we are changing the symbol to the star, or here in the divide we are changing the symbol to the divide. So this is how we can perform the operation. Now this is the way by which we can apply the different result here. Now what is going to happen if I run this? So if I run this program, then afterward we can see that, let's say we are going with the code. I am writing here 1, 2, 4, 3. This is my first number. I click on plus. So if I go on the coding of plus, let's say this is the coding. Now here I am clicking on the plus. So this first number is stored into the first. Text box is clear. Operation plus is saved. Now first number and the plus are saved to the global variables. So globally they are saved. Now I'm going back to the coding of plus. So this is the coding. Now afterward I will enter the second number. Let's say 444. Now I am going on the coding of equal to. So if I click on equal to, you can see that nothing is performed. The reason is that this 4 is taken into second, the operation is applied, but the result is not giving back to the text box. So here after operating all the cases, we simply write text box 1 dot text will be equal to the result we have calculated. So result here. Now I am again running this. So we will check is it working or not. So fast 1, 2 plus 5 equal to 17. So you can see that the output is coming. Now this 17, if I want to perform further operation, let's say if I say minus here and if I write 23 equal, it is not coming proper. Now you should understand what is the problem here. Why it is not going. Now I am running this again to make you understand. If I am running this program, you see, understand how the program is working, then you will understand what is the problem going on and how to solve this. First of all, I am writing some number. Let's say 1, 2, 3. So means 3 buttons worked here. 1, 2 and 3. The previous values are taken and stored here. Now afterward I am clicking on the plus button, or let's say minus. So I am going down here on the minus button. So this is the coding of minus button. Now when I click on minus, this value will be going on the first. First is the variable. So minus means 1, 2, 3 is going on the first. Then text box is empty and this operation minus is saved. So first value and operations are saved globally. So these are saved globally, first and the operation. So first value is 1, 2, 3 and operation is minus. So that what we have done. Now we are entering the second number. Let's say the number is 1, 1. So afterward I am going to press this equal to. So first of all I am going on the equal to coding for the better understanding. I am pressing equal to. Now it is 112 because the first number here and the second number are subtracted. The second number was stored into the second and they were subtracted, and the result is going on text box here. Once the result is on the text box and I again press the plus, that means next time this number should be coming as the first number. Means your result should be saved into the first number, then you can perform the further calculation. Because if I am going to press plus one more time, then this will be acting as the first number. So I am going back on the equal to, and after the result which was calculated into the text box 1 I have shown, I will be saying first number is now updated to the latest value which is the result. So that means this is now the new number. Now understand how it is working. So if I first of all say 1, 2, 3, this is the first number, plus the first number is saved, plus is saved, 1, 1. This is the second number. I press equal to. So this number was saved. Result calculated and result shown. Now this number is becoming the first number. Again I press minus, so this is the first number saved. I press 1 1, this is the second number again. I press equal to, so the result is coming. Again this number is becoming the first number. I write multiply, so first number saved, 2 second number, equal to second number saved, multiplied, result shown, and again this number become the first number. So every time the result I am making as the first number, so that we can keep on calculating the calculation. So this is how the calculation part is going. And yes, because this first number is accessible to all, that's why this first number I have declared on the global. So this is the reason, that's why the second and result are not declared. You can declare, the program will be same, no change. If you want a simple program, you declare second and result also on the top globally, but yeah, they are not required. So it is totally up to you. Now we are doing the coding of rest of the buttons. We know that from 1 to 90 this coding performed, plus, minus, star, divide, equal, these coding is performed. There is a button C for the clear I have taken. Let's say if I click over there, I want that whatever the value inside is should be removed. So now what I want that on clicking off this C button, the value of text box should be clear. So double click on this C button. Now simple coding, text box 1 dot clear. So that is a simple coding we can perform, means text box 1 should be clear. So you can apply text box 1 dot text equal to double quotes, or you can apply text box 1 dot clear, both meaning are same. So if I run this code, let's say if I am working on this form, I say, oh, this is the wrong value, I will click on C, so values is cleared. So this is the clear button. Now we are doing some formatting task. You can see that whenever we write on the calculator, the values start from the right hand side, and we want that there should be some attractive font. So that means whenever the calculator start, at that time the value should be aligned to the right, and afterward there should be some attractive font also. So what I am doing here, I am going on the form, I am double clicking on the form. So this is on the form load coding. Form load coding means whenever I click on this start debugging button, this coding will run. So here what we are doing, we are first of all giving the font. So text box 1 dot font, we are applying certain font, is equal to new font. So we are giving the font in the bracket, let's say we are giving Times New Roman, this is the standard font. Then afterward we are giving the size, let's say I want the size which is 15, comma, I want that everything should be aligned to the bold. So we can say that font style dot bold. So here the bold we have taken. Now we should see the impact of this code. If I run this, and then afterward if I write something, you can see that it is now into the bold, and the even text box is automatically having the new shape, so it is automatically extended. Now I want that they should be aligned to the right, so we can say that text box 1 dot text align. So the alignment of text will be equal to horizontal align. We know that there is a vertical alignment from top down, and here is a horizontal alignment to the right. So horizontally it should be right. So if I run this, now you can see that if I write 666, it is now coming from here. This is the horizontal, that's why this is the horizontal alignment, horizontally left, horizontally right. So this is the right alignment horizontally. So this way we can change it. Now there is one more thing. Let's say I have say some clear button, I say 3 plus 2 equal 5, I change it to 10. Now that means this text box I can change. I can even write to 2. So what is the meaning? Calculator should not be having the access of this text box. This text box user should not write. That means this text box should be disabled, because if I am writing something here, and I am even changing from here also by pressing something, so this is no meaning. So that means this text box should be disabled. So in the form load, I will do another coding afterward. I will simply write text box 1 dot enabled is equal to false. So this is how we can do this coding. Now afterward we see this is the new calculator. You can see that here I cannot write something. I cannot even click. I simply write 1 2. It is coming. I cannot click it. Press plus. It is gone. Saved. Now 8. Now equal to. So that is the result. So this is how we can create a simple calculator into the .NET, and we can apply certain function, and even we can apply more things. You can provide a background color to this text, you can provide the attractive buttons. So this is way we can create the calculator.